What's up, everybody? We are back in another episode of Pound for Pound. You know who I be. I'm the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
Ooh, Henry, you see I'm out here. You see I'm out here. I had to pump it up for you before we start the show.
A Shadowline production.
My man. Hey, it's good to see you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right.
You sure you good? You
think
sure?
So.
It was a lot of heat on me. It was a lot of heat on me, last week. It was a lot of heat on me. So just wanted to check on you, make sure you straight. You straight? Are we straight? Are we
I haven't read the comments, but maybe.
All right. As long as you straight, that's what's important to me. Henry, we got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot happening right now in the combat sports world. And first and foremost, let's just touch on a little bit of last weekend. There was a few things happened last weekend. Finally, we got the battle of the undefeated. What was it? A combined 36-0 between Musfar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. And it was a pretty good fight. It was a good fight. Evloev, like I've said, Henry, Evloev needed to fight someone that was going to be able to potentially stop a takedown, not just stop a takedown, be able to potentially get back up. And that we did see. And I said, what would happen once we saw that? I said, listen, just because he uses that one skill of just wrestling, everybody doesn't understand that this man can strike as well. I said that. And that's what he went out there and did. He didn't shoot for a takedown until I believe maybe the third or the fourth round. He stayed up there. He stayed in the stand-up. He pressured Lerone Murphy. He was able to find the strike and just was aggressive. He was trying to create those chaos. And Lerone Murphy held his own as well. He held his own. He was landing strikes. But it's kind of one of those situations, Henry. Yeah, you can be landing strikes. But if you're backing up the whole time, it looks to the referees, or to the judges, that you're not necessarily the one engaging in the actions, in the aggression, and trying to finish the fight. And so it was a good fight. I think Lerone Murphy landed some really, really good shots, but it just, with the pressure of Evloev was very, very good, and he was able to get the takedowns, I believe, in the last two rounds and really kind of dominate on top. So, man, it was a good fight, and now we finally have an answer. And Henry, I believe we have the next contender. I could be wrong, but you tell me. I think we have the next title contender.
Are you talking about Diego Lopez versus Volkanovski? Is that what you're saying?
No.
You know what? Not so fast, bro. Not so fast. I did see this fight. Evloev did win.
Right.
Maybe Murphy won a round or two. It was a closer fight. Those first couple rounds were kind of like swing rounds. Evloev's defense, bro, is underrated, man. His composure. He's not going back with people. He's not afraid. He would throw that overhand quite a bit and get that head to the outside and caught Lerone a couple of times. But other than that, bro, I think this dude's the dark horse, dude. There's something about his style that's problematic, and he really timed his takedowns at the very end of the round, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really timing his takedowns when the time was actually necessary. He wasn't just shooting just to shoot. If you notice, every time that he went in for a takedown, he actually got. So the right timing with his composure and good defense. I mean, now, does he have what it takes to beat a guy like Alexander Volkanovski? Man, I just feel like Alexander Volkanovski is a little trickier, man, with the lateral movements and things like that. But there's still a lot of things up in the air. I don't feel like Dana White is convinced that he's going to give this guy the title shot. Because if not, he would have been like, Evloev's next. Like, he's got it. It was like this. You know how when Dana White didn't like Merab for a minute, and then Merab fucking put it on me. And what did he say right after the fight? He said, Merab's got the next title shot. I cannot deny this kid no more. Like, fuck. When you don't get that answer from Dana White, it makes it a lot more difficult, though. So, and the only reason why I do say that, too, is because they flew out Gene Silva. According to Gene Silva, I'm quoting him, that Hunter Campbell flew him out. When he brought the contract, gave it to Dana White, said, hey, Dana White, sign this. And we'll see what happens. And then also we have that big matchup between between Yusuf Zalal and Aljamain Sterling, dude. I think that's a fight that's it's all going to come down to and crazy what I'm about to say. Isn't it come down to performance, but it's also going to come down to theatrics. Who is it that's really promoting and selling this damn fight?
Right.
Am
No,
I wrong?
no, man, it's tough to agree with you here, but I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. I think, I think you are.
Dude,
I think
I
you
could
are
be a
right.
lawyer, Kamaruddin. You know this.
You are.
You know this.
Hey, you're really making some good claims this year. I do agree with you. I do think a spectacular performance from a guy like Aljamain Sterling, that's a recognizable name that you could throw in there in that matchup because we haven't really seen what that matchup would look like. Aljo versus Alexander Volkanovski. So I think that's potential. But personally, I do believe Evloev deserves the shot. But you never know. You never know, Henry.
Yeah, so do I. But anyways, in other news, Kamaruddin, the NCAA's, bro, took place this weekend, bro. So that's what I was doing. So I had to go back and rewatch, particularly the main event. Obviously, I heard MVP's fight. I didn't even see it, but they said Henry don't even see it, And I saw highlights, people like making fun of it, fast forwarding it. They say it's the worst fight in UFC history, other than Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis. My balls is hot. But other than that, bro, the NCAA wrestling was absolutely bonkers, bro. What is it? There's 5 freshmen in the finals, 4 from Oklahoma State. Aiden Valencia from Stafford ended up winning it. I think his record was like 20-7 with 7 losses, bro. Number 10 seed to come back and win it. You have Jax Forrest, who forewent his high school career to graduate early to become an NCAA champ 3 months later. I mean, talk about some ridiculous shit, man. And then we have Sergio Vega, bro. Sergio Vega from Tucson, Arizona, from Sunnyside High School, didn't even give up a takedown this year at all to beat the guy that was a front runner for the Hodge Trophy, and Jesse Mendez, a 2-time NCAA champ, going for his third to eventually upset him. And then Landon Robidoux. I mean, this dude was probably in one of, if not the toughest weight at 157 pounds, ends up beating our guy, who my brother coaches, and Caleb Larkin, who was a number 4 seed. He ends up beating world team member number 1 seed and PJ Duke, and then goes on to the finals and beats Ante Trailer, the returning national champ, and all these guys. You know what the crazy thing about all this is? They're all freshmen. You got 2 freshmen in there, and 2 other freshmen that won national titles this year. Kamar, like when the hell have we heard that before? Like when?
Well, I think it goes to show what a rival program could potentially look like now when they have the backing to do it. And not just the backing, but a newer, fresher coaching philosophy. Because you see how Oklahoma State have always, their dynasty, they've always been there at the top. But you see the turnaround now and how quick that was. And you saw the same thing with Penn State. You saw now you're seeing the quick turnaround with Oklahoma State. And so it basically goes to show that how well can some of these programs really do when they have the right backing and they have the funding to really turn things around. So I like it. I think what David Taylor is doing right now at that program is amazing. I mean, shout out to David Taylor. For those of you who haven't seen our episode with David Taylor, you could go back. Obviously, we're going to put that link in there. You can go back and watch that episode of him kind of giving the blueprint of what he planned to do with this program. And we are seeing it just basically unfold right now. So, man, big shout out to David Taylor and the Oklahoma State boys. Same thing. Shout out to Kale, too. Kale and what Kale's done with Penn State and these boys, like they've definitely done their thing. So, hey. Why?
The guns, Kamaru.
But throw up the guns. I'm not an Okie State guy. But I love David Taylor and what these boys are doing. But Henry, my man, hey, it's a big weekend. UFC Seattle going down this weekend. You know that place. You know Seattle. Have you been there, Henry? Have you been there?
Yeah, no, it's good, bro. Seattle's
You've
good.
been to Seattle?
Yeah, no, I fought in Seattle. That was when I got poked by your dong. You know.
Pause. Jesus. Yeah, but UFC Seattle going down this weekend. My Nigerian brother Israel Adesanya taking on Joe Pyfer. And this is it's a great matchup. It's a great matchup. This is the one of those fights that essentially lets you know that Israel Adesanya is who he's always been, or this is a matchup that lets you know that Joe Pyfer is a guy ready to now step into the limelight to potentially get himself to that contender spot. So this is a phenomenal one, and it's a Henry. If you look at this card, like this is in recent memories, this is one of those cards that there's some dang good fights on here. Even the prelims, there's some really good fights on here. So this is what we like to see. This is what UFC fans like to see. We want fighters that we can recognize, fighters that we know are gonna come out to do their thing. So I love it. We'll go through the whole card, and I'll go through kind of some of the fights to watch. But listen, Henry, you tell me stylistically how you see this matchup, and what are you thinking for keys to victory?
Bro, I think people are really counting out Israel Adesanya. I know Kalshi ain't, but I know a lot of people are counting out Israel Adesanya.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Because a lot of people are like, oh man, Joe Pyfer, what he was able to do to Calvin, the fact that he's younger, the fact that Israel has been on
that is a common opponent
on a three fight losing streak, but. Bro, if Israel Adesanya is able to really break down the foundation, take his time, like he can stay away from that power, bro, from Joe Pyfer. If he can circle away from that right hand, dude, I think he's good. But I think breaking the foundation, kicking his freaking legs, and then getting this guy to exchange to catch him with that limbo hook that he does, like I feel like this could be a win for Israel Adesanya, but. If he's gonna go in there and just exchange with a guy like Pyfer, dude, Pyfer's got power. Pyfer's got probably. I don't think anybody has the power at 185 pounds like Pyfer has. Like Pyfer can.
Not Paulo Costa.
No, I don't think so, dude. Not like Pyfer, dude. Not like Pyfer. Okay. It's Pyfer's different. So that being said, could Israel Adesanya bring it into the later rounds, break the foundation? To eventually, do X, Y, and Z. And then for the flip side for Pyfer, could Pyfer get in there and catch him with that right hand, dude? He's got a beautiful straight right hand too. And the other thing too is could Pyfer actually bring in some of that wrestling? Could he surprise Israel Adesanya? And because if he gets kicked early and if he doesn't make that adjustments, like he's screwed. You're gonna have to really mix the fighting, make Israel Adesanya think about the takedowns to get rid of that damn leg kick because Israel Adesanya's greatest weapon is his kicks. The hands eventually finish you, but it's really the kicks that chop you down, that break you down, but it's the hands that get rid of you. So that being said, if I have to kind of do my whole Kalshi, man, yeah, dude, I would, I like them both, bro. I like Pyfer, man. Pyfer's been really, really cool. But if I had to put an Israel Adesanya now that we're homied up, obviously, it's gonna be I can see why. I like the fact that Kalshi has it this way. I'm glad that the fans are kind of delivering here and they're giving faith to the guy that that's been a champion. So I like where this is going from Kalshi.
Well, yeah, 56% of the people agree with you, and they believe that. Israel Adesanya will get this one done. So, you go ahead and put your shillings on it, Henry Cenudo.
Yeah, I'll do 200. I'll do 200 on Israel Adesanya.
Oh, just 200? Yeah, you big and bad. You spending you throwing stacks on other fights, but now you say your newfound friend, now you only want to do 200, huh?
You know what? I'll go
big spender.
You know what? You're right, Kamaru. I'll go 500 on that.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
more like
5
it.
on it.
Yeah, that's more like it. And I'm gonna go the opposite way. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Whoa,
I'm gonna
whoa!
go.
I'm like
I'm gonna go
Kamara. I'm like
two.
Kamara. You're not seeing that.
Hey,
Are you not seeing that, dude?
what is that? You got a little tan? I'm gonna go 250. 250 on Adesanya. Listen, I believe Joe Pyfer is capable, like you mentioned, Henry. He is. He has a beautiful right hand that if he can touch you with that right hand, he's sat a few dudes down with that right hand. And he could potentially wrestle if he makes that a point to go out there and mix it up. I think Joe Pyfer can wrestle as well.
Yeah,
Listen,
the person that has to make the adjustments in this fight, Kamaru, it is Pyfer. Because
really,
there's so much tape on Israel. He's gonna kick. He's not gonna wrestle. He's not gonna do jujitsu. He's not gonna do any of that. Pyfer's a person that has to make those adjustments. And if he could make them, then it could be a, Israel could be in for a long night.
I like the matchup. I think it's a really, really good one because I think if Izzy goes out there and does what Izzy does, as technical as he is, as shifty as he is, get into the angle. I think Izzy can technically break anyone down really when he's on his game. So I think that's the questions that we need to have answered here is, can Izzy still show us what he's been so dynamic at doing for such a long time? Or can Joe Pyfer come out there and really capitalize on this opportunity that he's being granted to put a feather in his cap by having a name like Israel Adesanya, arguably the greatest middleweight out there. So,
Hey Kush, why is your skin always looking so silky smooth like cocoa butter?
nah, Henry, I've been using the skincare duo we got from Base. 2 simple steps. Start with the charcoal cleanser for gentle exfoliation, then finish with the squalene moisturizer for all-day hydration. 2 simple steps that'll take you 2 minutes every morning. My brother, come on in, come on in. What's up? Come on in. Whoa. That's a little bit too much. Back up.
I use a peppermint shampoo with argan oil, and it's crazy how my hair just instantly looks thicker. Then I finish with the texture powder and the sea salt spray for all day texture.
Every product is plant-based, sulfate-free, and paraben-free. But most importantly, Based is built for simplicity. You don't need 12 steps of complex skincare, just a few simple, quality ingredients.
Use code pound for 20% off your first order at basebodyworks.com. Plus, users will get a free toiletry bag with your first order. That's code pound for pound at basebodyworks.com. Confidence shouldn't come at the cost of your health. Check out Base today.
Moving on, that co-main event is a banger as well. We finally get to see the former champion Alexa Grasso back in action, taking on Macy Barber, Macy Barber went out there and put on a good performance her last fight. She had those ups and downs. She had that situation at the Apex, but she's far removed from that. She's made the comeback, and I think that she's really starting to build that, ride that confidence again to go out there and take on an opponent like Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso ain't gonna go nowhere. Alexa Grasso come to fight. We know she has arguably, I think, some of the best boxing in the women's division right now. I mean, as far as combination,
women's.
yes, some of the best right now. Alexa Grasso is extremely talented, and listen, this woman has been in the UFC now since 2015. She's been in the UFC now since 2015. Alexa Grasso has been doing her thing. And man, over 10 years, 11 years, she's been in the UFC, really doing her thing. So listen, her first fight in the UFC was 2016? April 2015. Yeah. So yeah, she's been doing her thing now for a long, long time. Former champion, defending the title. And listen, this is a toss-up, Henry. What are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, no, I think obviously Macy Barcia, she's been on a whirlwind because she mixed the fighting. Again, like with all due respect, like sometimes you just don't know who the hell's gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Like with both of them, really. So it's gonna depend on if Macy Barber is able to mix the fighting. If she's able to use the strikes with the wrestling, I think it's her fight. But if it stays on the feet, yeah, you gotta go with Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso can crack, dude. She can really, really crack.
So can Barber.
Yeah, but it's different, bro. Like Alexa Grasso could crack, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I think this is the sport of mixed martial arts stuff. If Macy Barber is really able to mix her fighting sooner rather than later, especially if it's a 3-round fight, like this is her fight to take. Especially the fact that Alexa's been out of commission for quite some time now. So that being said, the question is could Macy Barber bring that round 3 in that first fight of the last fight that they had? Could she bring it into these next 3 rounds? And if she's able to do that, man, she's next for the title shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? She only has 2 losses. And I like the fact that Kalshi has it this way. And I'm gonna go big on this. I'm gonna go Macy Barber. I'm gonna put 500 on that.
Wait, so they have Barber taking this one?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Listen, I like Macy Barber, but I'm gonna combat you. And you're going 500 on Barber. I'm gonna combat you. I'm gonna go 500 on Alexa Grasso, bruh. Because I mean, come on, former champion has done it. Former champion, not just former champion over Valentina Shevchenko, arguably now the most successful female champion. And I mean, she's combating Amanda Nunes here. So listen, woof. I'm going Alexa Grasso here. 500. You know what? No, not 500. Let me go 600. I need some new tires. Let me go ahead and go 600. Yeah. I need some new tires on that G-Wagon, on that Honda Accord I got outside.
There's going to be some other great fights too, Kamar. They're going to have Ricky Simone versus Adrian Yanez. Should be a fun one.
That's not just a fun one. That's a fantastic fight right there. Because listen, I don't know if you know, Adrian Yanez, he's a guy that's high up there on my list. Whenever this guy's fighting, that's a guy that I definitely want to watch. Especially few fights ago, Adrian Yanez come to fight every time, and I like watching him fight. So I think that's a banging fight right there.
Yeah, man. And then not just that, but your boy Tyrell Fortune, bro. NCAA. I think it was a division.
He was a JUCO national champion, and man, a very, very talented wrestler back then. But Tyrell Fortune has definitely definitely just kind of turned himself into a full arsenal mixed martial artist, to where it's not just I'm just coming out there to wrestle anymore. This guy definitely is a mixed martial artist, and I mean I would say this is a tough fight to make your UFC debut, but Tyrell Fortune does have experience. He's been in Bellator, he's been in PFL, he's definitely got experience from those fighting upper oppositions there. So I think this is a damn good fight. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then obviously we have the three great lightweight fights in a row. You got Chase Hooper versus Lan Gibson Jr. We have Ignacio Bahamondes versus Musayev. We have Terrence McKinney, who surprisingly has never won a freaking bonus with all those spectacular first round.
Wait. Never won a bonus?
Nope. Terrence McKinney has never won a fight bonus, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but, versus Kyle Nelson, I mean, this is I'm gonna put some money that there's gonna this fight ain't going past first round, bro. Because that's what all of Terrence McKinney's fights have gone to. And then obviously we have Mansour Abdul Malik, who is, man, he is dangerous, Kamaru. He was training out here at Fight Ready for some time, helping out Calvin in his camp. And that dude he's got some special athletic gifts, bro, to say the least. So I'm excited to watch him fight. And obviously, you know, I'm not sure who the opponent he's fighting, but apparently he's
Dutch
a
kickboxer.
technical Dutch kickboxer that's part of Alex Pereira's team and corner.
Yeah.
So they must do for them to give this guy. I'm not sure if he's making his UFC debut, but for these guys, for Malik to take this fight, or for these guys to take that fight with Malik, bro, Malik's got some wrestling in him. So if he does have good striking, like this dude better watch out because he's gonna get. I mean,
Right.
he could get taken down and
Yeah, and I think that's something that people overlook because Abdul Malik is so young and vibrant and he's aggressive in his fights to where you forget this man was a Division I wrestler. Yes, this man can wrestle. He just chose to become a mixed martial artist. This man can wrestle. So you come too close, you might get wrestled down. So speaking of wrestling, you know what I'm saying? We just talked about how these boys do it at the NCAA. So you can't forget that Abdul Malik can wrestle. So I love it. But that Dutch kickboxer definitely has to watch out for the wrestling of Mansour Abdul Malik. But I like that matchup. This whole card, Henry, is on fire. You've got Mike the Maverick Chiesa taking on Nico Price at home. I don't know if Chiesa's fought at home. I think he has fought once at home before, but fighting here in Seattle at home, well in Washington at home. And I mean, there's some Juicy J. Erosa is on the card again. Abdul Malik, you've got Terrence McKinney on the card. Bahu Mendez, that's a tough one. That's a tough fight. Chase Hooper, Tyrell Fortune, and Casey O'Neill. That's a good fight. She's a female that come to thumb. She throw them thighs now. She come to thumb. So I like this. I want to see what Kaushi's saying for the Abdul Malik fight because I want to know if people are kind of torn with this one. Yes, this is right about what I would have thought because I would give the advantage to Abdul Malik. I think with the fact that he can wrestle is something that just kind of puts him over the edge because if he does get you down, he can not just can he wrestle, but he's got top control and he's gonna land damage and strike. So yeah, if I had to throw some shillings on this one, Henry, I would put a hundo on Abdul Malik to go out there and get the finish there.
That's it, man. You're being a little frugal, Kamaruddin.
What you mean? I ain't rich like you, bruh. I ain't rich like you.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to put 500 on. I'm gonna go a grand on him. I think this was guaranteed, bro. In my opinion, I think this dude's gonna be a future title contender here pretty soon. 1,000.
Rich for my blood.
We're gonna put a band on that.
You'll put a band. Why you say that? Why you said it like you just watched a rap video? Yeah, we're gonna put a band on it. Yeah, huh?
Yeah. Anyhow, other than that, Kamaruddin, I mean, check this out, bro. To move on from this next fight card, and dude, I think we're getting a good fight card this time and for this weekend, So I think we can both applaud on this one. All right, cool.
Good job, UFC. Thank you.
Yeah, Hunter's picking it up, dude.
Hey, it's been a little heat on him, so hey, I see.
Yeah, but RAF, the Real American Freestyle 7 is taking place here pretty soon. Obviously, the revenge, the rematch, Arman Tsarukyan versus Giorgio Poullas. I mean, this is good, bro. I mean, the first wrestling match was so good, man, and so freaking awesome. And then obviously we have Colby Covington versus Dildo Dennis. I'm not sure if he's gonna show up, but somehow he's in there.
Before you break down that whole card, Henry. Yeah, this is first and foremost the rematch. I mean, this is spectacular. Arman Tsarukyan versus George Poullas. Hopefully, Poullas actually went and did his homework because I think he probably thought, oh yeah, just an MMA fight. I'm gonna just go out there and take him down. But hopefully now he's understood that Arman Tsarukyan is for real, and he's went and done his homework. So hopefully we'll get a more competitive wrestling match and not that crap that happened last time because now Arman is got a screw loose too. So come to wrestle. Yeah. Come to wrestle and don't play none of those games and think it's gonna work. But what I'm getting at with this one with Covington and Dennis, I think it's a great one for Covington for sure. But why does Dennis continue to get these opportunities when there continues to be controversy every time? Whether he doesn't show up, he signs to fight this guy, doesn't show up, signs to fight that. I mean, it's been I feel like it's been a few now, a few different, whether it's boxing or whether it's MMA. It's been a few different instances now where he signed to fight and hadn't shown up. And then I saw what was it, a statement the other day that RAF put out about he's contractually obligated to show if he doesn't. So for them to have to put out a statement or someone to say something like that, it's kind of absurd for him to continue to get these opportunities. I mean, am I wrong, Henry?
No, I see what you're saying, but I think the way that we got to look at it is he's a controversial dude, and you put him and Kobe Covington together. You know, it's gonna deliver fireworks. Whether I don't know if they're gonna go the buddy route like Luke and Kobe were, dude. Freaking, you know, BFFs sound like they're gonna have freaking go to romantic dinner afterwards, or if this is gonna be something where they're actually going to, you know, scrap and talk shit or whatnot. You know, I agree with you, man. I 100% agree with you. But other than that, bro, besides us talking about Dildo Dennis, I mean, the card is freaking fire, bro. I mean, look at this, dude. We got Kyle Dake versus Parker Kickeisen, bro. Kickeisen just beat Zahid Valencia, bro, 10-2, man. Like, this dude is good. He won a big international open tournament too here recently. Like, this dude, if you guys count this dude out, he can make an Olympic team, bro. He's that good. You have Tazhudinov versus Kyle Snyder, the battle of two Olympic champions, dude. You know, both these guys have faced a couple times already, with the winner being Tazhudinov. And obviously Snyder right now is the current world champion and ranked number 1 in the world. You know, like, man, like, bro, like, and, you know, the other match that I see that pops out is Bassett versus Kinchakasvili from Georgia. You know, Olympic champion versus this young kid, the 18-year-old that is freaking a ball of fire, man, that does everybody dirty. I mean, it's
I think he just burns everybody up with that pace. Like, I mean, it's just a frantic pace. And he's willing to put himself in just danger with that pace. As you saw in his last outing, he got taken down twice. But the pace is so high, people can't keep up to where you're just in a full-on fist fight the whole time. And this young kid is comfortable at being at that pace. But listen, Kennedy Blades, that's her name, right? Kennedy Blades is on here as well. That's a fantastic matchup for her, you know. And, of course, the guy that took down the heavyweight, that took out.
Yeah, Gable Stevenson. Yeah, Wyatt Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Wyatt Hendrickson,
and I believe he's the heavyweight champion right now.
Yeah. And then not just that, but we have Salkanov versus Nov. That Salkanov is so good, bro. It's ridiculous how good he is. I think people had a chance to really see what the hell this kid is made out of. And he was able to really throw it on and put it on. You know, his last opponent, I think it was O'Toole. And then he's going up against Nov. I'm not sure if Nov gets it past. I'm not sure if Nov gets it done with this guy. You know,
really?
Nov, yeah, bro. This Salkanov dude is fucking different, dude. When I saw him compete for the first time. He has wins over Chamizo. He has wins over a lot of a lot of world Olympic champions, dude. This guy is he's Ossetian from Russia, but I think he represents. I forget what country he actually represents. But this dude is he's nasty. He's nasty, Kush.
Dang. So, I mean,
as good as Jason Nolf is, bro, as good as he is, and as one of my favorite wrestlers, if Jason Nolf is able to get past this dude, Jason Nolf needs to come back to wrestling and try to make another Olympic team.
Well, I think it's fair to say that RAF is throwing out a card that's rivaling the UFC card that's going on this weekend. So, I mean, it's a fantastic weekend. March 28, 8 p.m., and I believe that RAF card is live in Tampa. Fantastic card from top to bottom. Henry, my brother, if you want to get built over here like a mule, you got to sip some of that Huel, my brother. Yeah.
I tell you what, Kamaruddin, I had it for the first time a couple of days ago, and I told my wife that we are both like, man, this is it. This is all we have stored in our refrigerator, man, with 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals. I mean, no artificial sweeteners. I mean, this is worth every damn penny.
You're right, Henry. I also tried it, man, and it was fantastic. I had it yesterday before my workout, and you know what? I threw it down right after my workout, man. I mean, the powder as well we have, you just throw that in the blender with some ice, maybe some peanut butter or something like that. 40 grams of protein. It feels like a real meal because, Henry, it is a real meal.
For anybody that has a busy schedule, guys, I love Huel because, I have pretty much a meal in my hand where I'm ready to go. I drink it up. I jump in the car. I do my work. I come back home, and that's all she wrote.
If you're the type to skip a meal and miss macros, this is your solution. And we have a limited time offer. Get 15% off with our code P4P at Huel.com/P4P. That's 15% off with code P4P at Huel.com/P4P. Thank you, Huel, for supporting the show.
Guys, if you're still meal prepping with the same ingredients week after week, let us hook you up with Temple. Fresh, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door.
Temple drops 20 new recipes every week, so your healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. Whether you're trying to count the calories, increase protein, or hit specific macro goals, Temple has a custom meal plan for you.
And it's easy. Meals are ready to eat in 2 minutes. That's lunch, dinner, and even snacks that are perfectly portioned. No prep, no cleanup.
Temple is offering pound for pound listeners 60% off your first box. Go to templemeals.com/P4P. That's templemeals.com/P4P. Rules and restrictions may apply. You see the shirt, right? You see where I'm at? Before we go, you see the shirt?
Look at
you see me?
Raise that fist, dude.
Man, so the full MVP on Netflix card, MMA card, has been announced, and what a card it is. And that, like I'm saying, this is a pay-per-view card. It's a pay-per-view card. What a card this is. I mean, you at the top of the bill, you got Mike Perry taking on Nathan Diaz. You got Ronda Rousey taking on Gina Carano. You've got my brother, Francis Ngannou, taking on Leans. You've got, man, so many fantastic fights. Former heavyweight champion, JDS, is on the card as well. You've got Muhammad Mokaev taking on, listen, this is a banging fight here. There's a lot of fights on this card that are phenomenal here. So I really think MVP went out there. They did some work here. They went out and really, really got some talent out here. So this card from top all the way to bottom is fantastic. And yes, we can't forget, Alex Pereira's sister is on the card as well. And we know how dangerous she is with that left hook. She fights just like him, too. Just like him. So, man, it's a fantastic card, as we've said. That's going to be taking place Saturday, I believe, May 16th in Los Angeles, California. But, Henry, real quick, there was some news being dropped everywhere, just falling out of pockets over the weekend. And I knew this one was going to happen. I knew this. I think we've actually spoke about this on this show before, Henry. Cejudo. Yes. Manel Kape taking on Horiguchi.
Yeah, Kyoji Horiguchi. Woo! The winner of this fight has next dibs on the title shot, bro.
It's not even, that's a no-brainer.
It would be stupid if these dudes, like, this to me right now, these are the two best dudes in the world legit fighting, bro. Like, yeah, the belt is elsewhere.
With respect to Pantoja.
With respect to Pantoja and with respect to
Joshua Van.
No, with my opinion. This is my opinion. And I'm a flyweight.
Sorry.
And real recognizes real. These two motherfuckers, dude. This fucking fight needs to. Is it Apex or is it a fight night?
Apex.
Why is it at Apex, dude? Oh, whatever, bro. But we're gonna get a banger of a fight like this. This right here, bro, is a competitive fight. They fought before where Kyoji was able to kind of pull it off. I never saw the fight, but I know one thing that I will say: Manal Kape has gotten a lot better. But man, Kyoji at 125 pounds, to me, he's still the most dangerous guy in the world, bro. In my opinion, bro. I don't even know the dude. I'm not glazing or fluffing, but real
Sure.
recognizes real. But from what I heard, he was able to dominate. He was able to that first fight, and it's the movement, bro. But with time, people do get better, dude. So that being said, bro, like this is to me, this is the next world champ. The winner of this fight is gonna have UFC gold wrapped around their waist.
I like it, but I have to tell you, they fought the first time. Manal Kape really was just training at home for this fight. Wasn't at a professional gym, didn't have a professional team behind him and really show him the ropes of how this works. I believe Manal Kape is, I want to say, 10 times better than where he was when that fight took place. So I am anxious. And listen, I do think Horiguchi is extremely dangerous. I think he's extremely well-rounded. But I just believe that star boy, Manal Kape, is just on a different level. He's on a quest. He's on a mission for that title. And I believe with the win over Horiguchi, it just solidifies himself and takes all of the stain, all of the back talk of what happened with the Mokaev, all of that. It wipes all of that away, and he cements himself as the next contender. Because, it's weird to say. It's weird to say right now because we still have Alexander Pantoja just kind of sitting there in the wings. And this man is waiting for his opportunity to get back there. But it's tough because the landscape of that division right now, you've got 3 guys that could arguably fight for the title, but the title is being fought for April 11th in Miami. So, hey, I like it, but Manal Kape right now, I believe, with a win over Horiguchi, becomes the next title challenger. All right, my brother Henry Cenudo. We are finally here at my favorite part of the show, the speed round. My brother, and you know what it is, 60 seconds on the clock. We'll take turns reading the question. I will be first because you see my shirt. You see the shirt. You see it? Yeah, recognize that. Put your fist out. All right, 60 seconds on the clock, Ryan. Ready? First question. Will Francis Ngannou box Jake Paul after this fight?
Yes.
No. I don't think Jake Paul wants that work.
All right. 2. Will Khamzat Chimaev finish Sean Strickland? No.
No, I don't believe so as well. 3. With 1 fight left on his current deal, will the UFC re-sign MVP? Yeah. Yes.
No.
Really?
Yeah, with performances like that, they're gonna send the message. But all right. 4. Will Diego Lopez get the next title shot? Yeah.
No.
Hurry up, Barber.
Will Israel Adesanya retire if he loses this weekend to Joe Pyfer? No.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
It depends on what fashion, but I mean, I think so, bro. I think when the ship has sailed, the ship has sailed, dude. I think you just come into realization that it's probably not even, and I'm speaking for myself. Maybe it's not so much the talent, but it's more the desire, and it's more of I want to do other things with my time now. And there's things that you enjoy more. I think Israel's already there. He's already DJing. He's doing a bunch of other stuff. Like he's already kind of planning for his future. So when people already start to do things already, like they already know the time is coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even for me, I was already in real estate, the content business pretty heavy. So yeah, I do feel like if Israel does get finished or loses in this fight, like, I think he's done.
What if it's a split decision?
then yeah, then that changes everything. But I doubt it's gonna be a split decision.
Okay, so you think if he gets finished, he walks away?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. And there's nothing
Okay.
wrong with that, bro. Fuck, I almost got
No, absolutely not.
But I knew that it was time to hang it up since I knew that it was time to hang it up maybe like 2 fights ago. Prior to that, just
Really?
not because of talent or any of that, but just the desire to the where my time was being given. So I think if Israel Adesanya is giving his time, and the podcast world and the DJing stuff, like dude, that's the stuff that takes a toll of your body, man. Like it's not age, bro. Age is just a fucking number, as what they say. You know what I'm saying? It's the lifestyle. So yeah, I do believe that if Israel does lose, I think this is his last dance.
Well, like we did see in a couple of different interviews this week where he did express his thoughts and his feelings right now on the middleweight division, to where he did express that, yeah, as far as activity in that middleweight division right now is a little low. It's a little lacking. But we know that. People never really appreciate you when you're there. They never really appreciate it as much. And then when you're gone and you're no longer there is when we're like, oh man, we had something special here at this point. And man, Israel Adesanya was definitely special when he was at the helm, holding on to that middleweight title. But
Yeah.
yes, it's still early. Khamzat Chimaev, it's still early. I know there's all this talk of him wanting to move up already and vacate. So it's pretty crazy. We want to know what's going to happen with that division. But I do think we will get an answer.
Yeah, no, but there was something special about Israel Adesanya, which leads us into this next question. Question from a casual: Which fighter has had more successful career, Alexander Volkanovski or Israel Adesanya?
Ooh, who's had the more successful career between the two? Man, this is a tough
You want
one,
me
man.
to take this one, Kamaruddin?
Go ahead, go first. You go ahead and go do your thing.
Yeah, I gotta go with Israel Adesanya. Yeah, granted he's lost, but I always look at a career and see the chances that somebody has taken to become the best in the world. Like, bro, when Israel was at middleweight, bro, he fought everybody, and he was fighting. Look at this, and particularly that fight that he had with Calvin Gastelum, and I was there for that fight. I was there for that fight. I was there for the Whitaker fight, for the Romero fight. I wasn't there for the Paulo Costa fight. And he went out and he tried to compete for that double champ status, but bro, he's got a win over. I mean, there was some fights where it was boring as hell, but I think the longevity of it, and then beating Alex Pereira to avenge that loss after losing to him 4 times in a row, in the fashion that he did, and not to hate on Volk, dude, but Volk, after losing to Islam twice, getting knocked out, and then getting knocked out by Ilya Topuria, he was still like the front runner, and he was, he fought for the title at 145 pounds against Diego Lopez. It was almost like he had like it was that new Paramount push that was given, that with Israel Adesanya, it's like, bro, he fought everybody. He fought everybody, Marvin Vettori. And it's a close one, but if I have to go with somebody, bro, I gotta go with Israel Adesanya. And I feel good about
these dudes got a lot of I'm like, damn, I ain't get that many title fights. Like, damn, these dudes got a lot of title fights on here. I think he has 11, and Israel Adesanya has 12 title fights. Man, that's something.
Can I tell you
special,
something, Kamaru? I think what kind of takes away a little bit from Volkanovski is a lot of those rematches with Holloway 3 times, and it's not his fault, rematch with Diego Lopez 2 times, that stuff
Islam twice.
That stuff hurts. That stuff kind of, if you want to talk about the diverse of competition, it is Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, I listen. I'm not gonna say it hurts what he did or not, because all he did was go out there and perform against the next best guy that the company felt was next. And so if you look at what Israel did, Israel went through all these guys. And yes, it was great. But also what Volkanovski did was great as well. But me, this personal preference-wise, I would go Adesanya because I'm talking about you clear out a whole division. You go up to challenge for that title. Yes, you're unsuccessful, but you come back down and you try going through the division again. I mean, Robert Whittaker twice. I mean, Marvin Vettori twice. I mean, this Alex Pereira twice. I mean, this man, he did his thing. So I think both careers are tremendous, but personal preference, I would go with Israel Adesanya. So we wish him well this weekend against Joe Pyfer. It's a fantastic card. It's a fantastic RAF card as well. And Henry, I'm gonna be glued to the TV. Actually glued to my phone. So I'm gonna be watching these. If you got that code, go ahead and shoot me that code so I could use your account to watch.
I got you, bro. Well, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be a busy weekend, man. I'm gonna be watching both. I'll probably be watching more Real American Freestyle, to be quite honest with you, and then I'll definitely tune in for the Israel Adesanya main event, dude. Because there's so many good wrestling matches there. I'm not hating, bro. I don't want everybody just. I'm a number one. I'm a wrestling fan at heart, bro. Like I'd rather go to any world championships, Olympic games, first and foremost, than any UFC fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
right. No, for sure. I agree. I'm gonna have one eye on that and one eye on the UFC as well. Well, my brother Henry, as always, you know who I beat. The Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
We are out.